Last summer, I took a solo trip into the mountains. I'd been working nonstop for months and needed a break. I booked a small room at Pinecrest Lodge, an old wooden hotel tucked deep in the valley. The photos online looked cozy: rustic walls, soft beds, and a balcony overlooking endless forests. It seemed peaceful, isolated, and perfect for unwinding. The drive there was long and winding, switchback roads climbing higher and higher until cell service disappeared. When I finally pulled into the gravel lot, the evening sun was already fading behind the peaks. The air was thin, cool, and carried the faint smell of pine and wood smoke. The lobby looked like it hadn't changed in decades. Mounted deer heads, faded carpet, and the faint hum of a vending machine in the corner. The receptionist was polite but quiet, an older man with deep lines in his face. He handed me the key to room 6 on the second floor. His words felt rehearsed when he said, "Keep your balcony door locked at night. The wind up here gets strong." I nodded, though something in his tone made me wonder if he meant more than just the wind. The room itself was plain but comfortable: 2 twin beds, a dresser, a small TV, and a balcony with a wooden railing that looked out over the endless forest below. As the night deepened, the silence became heavy, broken only by the occasional groan of the old building settling. I unpacked, ordered a sandwich from the tiny cafe downstairs, and sat out on the balcony until the stars emerged. When the mountain wind picked up, I closed the sliding glass door, locked it, and finally crawled into bed. Sometime past midnight, I woke to a sound, faint at first, like a slow creaking of wood. I listened harder and realized it was coming from the balcony. The floorboards outside my room groaned, as if someone was walking across them. My heart pounded, but I reminded myself it could be the wind, just the old wood shifting. I turned on the lamp and checked the lock on the sliding glass door, still secure. No one could have gotten in. But when I peeked through the thin curtain, my blood ran cold. There was a shape on the balcony, still, tall, and facing my room. Too dark to see clearly, but definitely human. I stumbled back, blinked, and when I looked again, the balcony was empty. I didn't sleep much after that. I kept the lamp on until dawn and told myself it was just my imagination, maybe a shadow, maybe the wind. But when I stepped outside in the morning, I saw it, a fresh cigarette, but on the balcony floor, still damp with dew. I don't smoke, and the hotel was strict about it. The sight made my stomach turn. Someone had been out there. The second night, I locked every possible entrance, double-checked the door, the balcony, even the bathroom window. I left the TV on for background noise and tried to convince myself I was just being paranoid. But again, sometime around 2 a.m., I woke to the sound of the balcony door handle rattling, slow, deliberate, as if someone was testing it. I froze in bed, the TV still playing faintly, but the sound of metal scraping filled the room. I sat there gripping my phone, even though I had no service, praying the lock would hold. After what felt like an eternity, the rattling stopped, but I couldn't bring myself to open the curtain this time. I didn't want to see who was on the other side. By morning, I went straight to the receptionist. I told him someone was trying to get into my room at night. His expression didn't even flicker with surprise. He just nodded slowly and said, "We'll check the locks," then changed the subject as if he wanted me to drop it. That uneasy, rehearsed calm made me even more nervous. I thought about leaving early, but the nearest town was miles away, and driving the mountain roads at night felt worse than staying, so I decided I could last just one more night. That last night was worse than the others. I barely slept. I sat in bed with the lamp on, listening, waiting. Around 3 a.m., I heard it again, footsteps on the balcony, slow, careful, pausing right outside the glass door. Then that same faint tapping, not on the handle this time, but on the glass itself, like knuckles against the window pane. Tap, tap, tap. I held my breath. The curtain swayed slightly with the draft from the vent, and for a split second I saw it, the outline of a face pressed against the glass, pale, expressionless, watching me. I didn't move, didn't breathe. I just stared until the figure slowly leaned back into the shadows, disappearing from view. The tapping stopped, and the silence returned heavier than ever. At sunrise, I packed my bags without showering, without breakfast. I just wanted out. When I carried my suitcase downstairs, the receptionist gave me the same polite nod. sliding the receipt across the counter as if nothing was wrong, as if he already knew what had happened. I didn't say a word. I just walked out. The mountain air felt colder that morning, sharper, like the forest itself was holding its breath. When I finally drove away and the hotel disappeared in my rearview mirror, I promised myself I would never return. But even now, years later, when I see an old wooden balcony or hear the faint sound of wood creaking, I feel the weight of that gaze on me again, and I know someone stood there in the mountain dark, watching, waiting, and enjoying every second of my